Hunting for Answers is a production of the Black Effect Podcast Network and iHeartRadio. Welcome to Hunting for Answers, a true crime podcast. I'm your host, Hunter, and today we're highlighting a case that took place in Cleveland, Ohio in December of 2020. It all began in the quiet hours of the evening. A 22-year-old mother was gunned down in cold blood while sitting in her car. Her murder sent shockwaves through her neighborhood and left a toddler without her mother. More than 3 years later, her killer remains free, and her family continues the fight for justice. This is the story of Britney Hardwick. Britney Hardwick was just 22 years old when her life was taken from her. She was a young mother trying to build a future for herself and for her young daughter in Cleveland, Ohio. Like so many other young parents, Britney faced the daily challenges of raising a child while also navigating the complexities of life. But Britney was working to create a better life for her family. She had dreams, plans, and most importantly, she had justice, her little girl who depended on her. December 12th, 2020. It was a frigid night in Cleveland. The city was still reeling from the effects of the pandemic. And like many Americans, people were just trying to get through each day. Britney had found herself in the 1400 block of East 176th Street that evening. She was sitting in her car, parked in front of a home. Perhaps she was visiting someone. Maybe she was waiting for someone, or possibly she was just taking a moment for herself. Whatever brought her to that location that night, it would be the last place that she would be seen alive. As Britney sat in her car, suddenly shots rang out, breaking the silence in the neighborhood. When authorities arrived at the scene, they found Britney Hardwick shot and killed inside her vehicle. The 22-year-old mother had been gunned down in what appeared to be a targeted attack. The scene was devastating. Gun violence had taken yet another young life. A family was left shattered, and a 2.5-year-old little girl would never get to see her mother again. The Cleveland police launched an immediate investigation, but from the beginning, this case would prove to be more challenging than anyone ever anticipated. As news of Britney's murder spread through the community, her family was left to grapple with an unimaginable loss. Her mother, Sandra Dawkins, became the primary voice for justice, refusing to let her daughter's case just fade into the background. But more and more precious time was going by, and no leads and no answers were surfacing that pointed to who Britney's killer might be. Eventually, 2 years had gone by. Sandra described the daily battle of coping with her daughter's murder, knowing that the killer was still out there somewhere. She told reporters, "For these 2 years, I've been looking for her and thinking about her, trying to say things so I could hear her voice." The frustration within the Hardwick family grew. By December 2022, exactly 2 years after Britney's murder, there were still no arrests that had been made. Her mother, Sandra, organized a balloon release in her daughter's memory, marking the second anniversary of the unsolved case. "It's been 730 days, and my baby hasn't come home, and she's not coming home," Sandra said. The family voiced their frustrations with the pace of the investigation. Sandra didn't mince her words when speaking about the Cleveland Police Department's handling of the case. "They killed my Britney for no reason, and nobody is being held accountable," she said. You have your suspects. Go after these people. Stop sitting around waiting for someone to come and tell you. People are not going to put their life on the line to tell you something that detectives and police are trained to find out. Britney's sister, Ronika Dawkins, joined her mother in pleading for information from the community. She understood the fear that often prevents witnesses from coming forward. It's just sad that they're just walking around and that there are people okay with that, Ronika said. If it was your sister, daughter, or mother, you would want to know. But it's not snitching if you're helping somebody. It's not to help yourself, it's to help somebody. It's to help a family have closure. But perhaps the most heartbreaking aspect of this case is the impact on Britney's daughter, Justice. At the time of her mother's murder, Justice was just 2.5 years old. Her grandmother said, "When you take a child's mother, you should be charged with something extra, because you are damaging this child for life. You've taken something that nobody can give back." Sandra channeled her pain into action, becoming an activist. She began working to prevent other families from experiencing the same devastating loss. She participated in Cleveland's Women's March, which focused on violence against women. She was able to connect Britney's case to a broader movement addressing the epidemic of violence that disproportionately affects women and communities of color. The circumstances surrounding Britney's case sparked several questions that remain unanswered till this day. What or who was Britney waiting for that night? Was she specifically targeted, or was she the victim of random violence? And if the police have suspects, as the family has suggested in the past, what's preventing them from making any arrests? In many homicide cases, the fear of retaliation keeps potential witnesses silent. The challenge for investigators is building a case that doesn't rely entirely on community cooperation, using physical evidence, surveillance footage, cell phone data, and other forensic tools to help identify and prosecute the perpetrator. The murder of Britney Hardwick highlights the growing challenges facing law enforcement, especially in urban communities. The ongoing epidemic of violence against women and the resilience of families who refuse to let their loved ones be forgotten. 3 years have passed since that December night in 2020. There have been no publicly named suspects, arrests, or answers. And her family continues to fight for justice. My thoughts and prayers are with the family and friends of Britney Hardwick as they continue their search for answers. The Cleveland Police Department continued to ask for anyone with information about this case to contact their homicide unit. You can find their contact information in the description box below. As we close out this episode, don't forget to hit the follow button to stay updated on Britney's case and others like it. Be sure to subscribe to Hunting for Answers on YouTube and follow us on Instagram and TikTok for more true crime content and case updates. If you're watching us on YouTube, drop your thoughts on this case in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for joining us on another episode. Until next time. Hunting for Answers is a production of the Black Effect Podcast Network. For more podcasts from the Black Effect Podcast Network, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.